happening in Florida, that new law to protect students, to protect parents. We have the little Johns to thank. Yeah, they're...
Ron DeSantis says he's all about parental rights, so much so that it's the official name of the draconian Don't Say Gay bill.
This Don't Say Gay bill really breaks my heart.
What it is doing is creating a veil of shame that already existed in a journey that's been fought for years for people to be their authentic selves.
Yet here we have yet another thing for kids to worry about.
Is this dangerous legislation?
Absolutely. It tells youth who are different or whose families are different that there's something wrong with them out of the gate.
Wow, what a hideously dishonest discussion about what that legislation, what this law will actually do. What it would like to do is prevent, well, secrecy within families, having sexual conversations with strangers. This is actually from the Leon County Schools Handbook on lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, gender nonconforming, and questioning support guide. It specifically says parents should not be notified about certain matters concerning their children. Oh, it can be very dangerous to the student's health and well-being if aspects of their sexuality are shared with parents. It really is shocking stuff. And you know what? Because of this law, or that we have this law, we are thankful in part to January Littlejohn. She was suing the Leon County, Florida School District for this ridiculous guide. Ron DeSantis was part of this effort. And we're also joined by Bernadette Broyles, the attorney representing January Littlejohn. Welcome to you both. Thank you. How are you guys tonight?
We're well.
Good. Thank you for having us.
You bet. You bet. Listen, you heard how the discussion was hijacked by the left. Can you do me a favor, January, in your own words, describe just how wildly at odds they are with your experience, if they are?
Sure. Well, in my experience, I was systematically cut out of a very critical conversation being held with my 13-year-old daughter that would have absolutely impacted her personal safety and her mental well-being. They created a transgender, gender nonconforming support plan, which was a 6-page plan where they asked her questions such as which name and pronouns would you like to use, which restroom would you prefer, and which sex would you prefer to room with on overnight field trips. Then they did something really insidious. They instructed staff and teachers to use an alternate name while my daughter was at school, and to use her birth name and pronouns when speaking to us to effectively deceive us that the meeting had ever taken place.
And how old is your daughter again, please?
She was 13 at the time. And when I contacted the school, I was told they could not give me any information about the meeting because she was protected by law from me.
That is pretty wild. Bernadette, now we have the law now. The lawsuit, what's the status of the lawsuit you were taking on the Leon County, Florida School District for this this crazy set of guidelines and the treatment of the child? Where is that now?
Well, we're in federal court, and as you know, federal court is not at all quick. We're waiting on just the next process and step in the process. But want to make it perfectly clear is that the United States Constitution grants parents a fundamental right to direct the education, the mental health treatments, the medical treatments, and the religious upbringing of their children. So we have claims that are based on the United States Constitution, as well as the Florida Constitution, which grants parents very similar rights, as well as privacy rights to the family. You talk about how the school officials are driving a wedge between children and their parents, and that is harmful to children. So our lawsuit alleges both constitutional claims as well as a violation of the Parents' Bill of Rights.
Governor DeSantis certainly knows who you are. You've met with him, and you were there when a good chunk of this was announced. You guys have been there every step of the way, I believe. Let's play that moment of you with the governor.
We learned the middle school had created a transgender, gender nonconforming support plan with our 13-year-old daughter without our knowledge or consent. I have always told my children my number one job is to keep them safe, and this school took that away from me.
Are you, what's your reaction to people like Disney, to people, prominent executives weighing in all over the place who don't seem to know the basic facts of your daughter's situation and what the law actually says?
Well, Greg,
Go ahead, Sarah.
It's really just a lot of noise, because if they were to actually read the bill, they would see this is fundamentally a bill about parental rights, which protects every parent, regardless of whether you're on the left or the right or your religion or your race. And the first and second part of the bill is really the core of the bill, which states that you cannot exclude parents from a child's record if they change a service or monitoring that will impact the child's physical, emotional, or mental well-being. And further, you can't withhold that information or encourage the child to withhold the information. And this part of the bill, Greg, is so misinterpreted. This actually applies to K through 12. There's a lot of confusion over the K through 3 aspect of the bill, which is literally 2 sentences, versus the bulk of the bill, which covers K through 12, because these children are minors. And parents absolutely need to be involved in every aspect of their education, especially if their mental or physical well-being is going to be impacted.
You would think, right? Well, listen, we're very grateful for what you've done. As a new parent, by the way, I have a 3-month-old and a 2-year-old. I am more cognizant of these issues than I was before. So, January Littlejohn, I think you've done a great service. And to your attorney as well, Bernadette Broyles, we thank you both.
Oh, thank you for having us on. It's an important issue.
You bet.